Oh my goodness, how diversified is your group of friends? Have you ever looked at your group of friends and thought, are they same, plus or minus 10%? It's my famous saying. I believe that everyone in your circle of friends are plus or minus. They think the way that you do. They have like the same kind of life environment, plus or minus 10%. I have really cultivated a great group of friends that were in varying ages, anywhere from, I'm 56, so my girlfriends range anywhere from in their mid 30s to their 70s. I think it's a great range. You get to have such interesting conversations, which my girlfriend Nina and I did today. And it was so good. I haven't seen her for a couple of weeks, and it was good to reconnect. The other reason why I like diversification in friend groups is because my girlfriend Nina, she's a restaurateur here in Malmo, and she has like her restaurant has the best food and they have the best cocktails, but she loves to go around and try things and sample things. And I like to go around and try things and sample things. So because we have that kind of curious, interesting nature, it makes for such lovely lunch and casual evenings together. Anyhow, the reason why I'm asking is because she is um, more vegetarian. She has moments of meat, but she definitely likes a good vegetarian restaurant. And she was vegan for a couple of years. And I am a flexitarian. Like I like to eat whole grains and, have like an 80% chicken and fish, but I also like a lot of fruits and vegetables. Oh my goodness, I digress. The reason why I'm asking you guys is because the diversification of friendships and people in your life, it is paramount to having a sexy, fun, and full life. Because obviously, I'm Puerto Rican and Black and French and Dutch and God knows what else my mix is with, and American and Puerto Rican and live in Europe. And my girlfriend, she's Swedish and Polish, and she's lived in London and she's lived in England. She lived in Thailand. She's or in Bali. I mean, everywhere. So the nature of her life experience and the nature of my life experience and the foods that we like to eat and just the perspective on life and the views of our experience all through that feminine lens, but a little bit different because her backstory is different from my backstory. I also have a really good girlfriend, and she's Somali, lives in here. She's an orthopedic surgeon. Talk to me. I know, right? And then I have another girlfriend, one of my best girlfriends. She lives upstairs, as you guys know, because I talk to you about her quite often here. And she's an amazing artist, and she's Canadian, and her husband's Argentinian. And then one of my other best girlfriends is super Swedish, and she's like, they call her the bulldog of law. She's an amazing attorney. She just retired, and she's in her mid 60s. So I was just thinking about it as I was running up the stairs after having lunch with my girlfriend, Nina, before I leave to go have lunch with my girlfriend, Cotton, that we're going to have, not lunch, we're going to have a fika. And she's Swedish and Italian. And how cool is my life? The diversification of my friendships. And I really love curating that. I think a lot of that has to do because I'm such a hybrid of so many things. It's so good to be with people from so many different places and so many different backgrounds. And really, for me, it's the food. Let's be real. Y'all know I love me some food. I love different foods. I love culture. I love elegance. I love creativity. It just curates this amazing ambiance. And further, because my girlfriend Nina is who I just had lunch with, vegetarian, and she's 10 years younger than myself, we were having this really interesting conversation about children or not children, to have children, to not have children, and the interesting aspects of these conversations, because I love that these young women are looking at themselves and looking at their life 10, 20, 30, 40, 50 years out and looking at, do they want to change their lifestyles? They're having these conversations of, does it benefit you? Does it not benefit you? If you're, depending on your religion, how you look at things like this, and the form of these conversations and her and I having the conversation, knowing the experience that I've had with my stepchildren and cultivating and curating that, and how for a little while it was rather messy and one of them has come back. And that is the nature of life. But it's also the lens, the feminine lens, but the lens in which we see life through our experiences and through our friends' experiences really help and amplify and mold me. And that's what I thought was so cool about my lunch conversation with my girlfriend, Nina, because we were talking about, just catching up over the last couple of weeks of some of the things that she's experienced and how much she's grown as a person. And how we were talking about that through difficult circumstances in life, you do grow as a person, and to have that wisdom and to have that perspective and have that wherewithal that although it was a shitstorm a couple of weeks, she's on the other side of it and she feels so good about the decisions she's made and she's super cool and super calm about it. And she was talking about how much that she has really seen that in herself. And as a person who is in her 50s and has experienced so many things and has this incredible amount of wisdom that I have gained through challenging experiences, I always love as a woman to see women experience challenging situations and see them gain the wisdom and move forward without getting too bent out of shape, without getting bitter, without having resentment, but being able to just self-analyze and move forward. And that is what I think is so interesting about having friendships that are diversified with men and women. Most of my girlfriends are, I have a lot of girlfriends. I have 2 or 3 male friends, but most of my friends are women. So that sharing openly, that loving yourself and forgiving yourself, and that wonderful ability that we women have to be able to share so openly, so vulnerably the experiences that we have and ask for counsel from our girlfriends. It just makes me so freaking happy. So today, as I was driving to meet my girlfriend Nina for lunch at this vegetarian place, it got me thinking about, oh my God, girl, today you have two dates with your friends. One, you're having a great lunch with a friend that I haven't seen in a couple of weeks. And then this afternoon, I'm going to go for a fika. And a fika in Sweden is very Scandinavian, is you get yourself a little cake or a little something cookie and a cup of coffee. And you just sit down and, catch up with your friend. And I'll be doing that a little bit later. But I wanted to ask you guys here, as I'm just talking away here, do you have a friend group? Obviously. But is it a diversified friend group? Do you have friends that are from different countries and different cultures, that you like break bread with on the regular and that you just share what's going on in your life? Do you find the need for diversification in your life, in your friend group? Or are you just happy the way you are? Do you like to have food and eat like I do? Because I love me some food and some eating, let me tell you. But I love the breaking bread because for me, it's something that I did obviously in my youth, but also I have to tell you, when I owned my business in the US, some of the best doctors that I worked with and the best, you don't want to say contracts, but like the most rewarding and beneficial clients that I had were the ones that they actually came over to my home and my late husband's home, and they brought their wives over and their kids, and we were swimming in the pool and just breaking bread, as one says, having a good meal together and having a good wine. Some of the most successful business collaborations that I've had have come from that sitting down kind of family aspect, bringing it in the family, having a good food, having a good meal, and just being open and honest and vulnerable in such a setting. So I think I have made my point here. I'm just curious if you guys do experience this with your family and friends, but also the diversification of it, of your friend group. Does it make sense? Tell me. Talk to me. Pussily Puss.